Hello, everybody. I'm Jaret Reddick, and this is a podcast. Jaret Goes to the Movies. Hopefully you have seen or heard one of my many musical endeavors, and if you have, then you know how much I love movies. This is movie commentary with no movie knowledge. This podcast is me and my friend Rich talking about movies that we like, but my name's on it because I'm famous. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. Still. Okay, we're starting now.
They call him... No, I'm just kidding.
God damn it.
This your rig, son? Yeah? Open her up. Let's see the manifest. Yeah? Placing you under arrest for transporting alcoholic beverages across state lines without the proper permits. And that means, you dumb cowboy, you know trucking Coors beer east of Texas is bootlegging? This here's Georgia, son.
Why, just a friendly bet. These two old boys, they put me up to it.
Now, when you gonna learn? Big and Lil Enos Burdette make that same bet with every gear jammer they can.
Westbound down 18-wheel rolling. They say can't be done. We got a long way to go, and it's short time to get there.
My name is Jaret, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. I'm pretty excited this week. Pretty excited. I used to do skits from this movie for my
Oh yeah,
for my parents.
For your parents?
Yeah.
Not
back
for
in
a
the
theater
day.
class?
No, I never did any scenes from this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jaret Goes to the Movies. My name is Jaret. With me, as always, is Rich.
Hi, Jaret.
The lovely Casey is with us this week.
Hello.
We always miss you when you're not here, but you've been here a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been showing up.
It's been nice.
Just been getting out of the tub.
It's been nice. Well, we've been timing her bath during our pre-show. So if you're listening to this,
Sounds like I'm really
normally
weird.
on Tuesdays at around 8 Central
I bathe
Time.
on Tuesdays.
At around 8 o'clock Central Time on our Facebook page,
Don't you know it ain't Saturday?
we do a what's called a pre-show. And that is where Rich turns his iPod Touch onto our Facebook page, and we pretend like people are watching us. Guys, it's been this. When you're listening to this, we will have just celebrated Father's Day, and I had the best Father's Day I've ever had in my life. The best. It was so much fun. I woke up. I got to sleep in like an extra hour. Then I took a shower and I came out, and Casey for Father's Day had gotten me a refrigerator for the studio.
Yay!
So we have a refrigerator in here, and which is exciting because we usually have to ice down our beer, yogurt, and whatever we want to keep cool. So now we've got a fridge. I'm pretty excited about it. It's the exact same one that I bought Linus of Hollywood for his studio too. So it's the official Jarinus fridge.
Jesus, get a room.
Oh, you jealous?
Oh, yeah,
You jealous
yeah.
because my best friend actually likes me?
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, what? Do I need to call Mark?
We're talking Smokey and the Bandit this week, but so back to my Father's Day, and then we went to brunch with Casey's mom and stepdad and their kids and with Mark and Bonnie and Gary, drummer for Bowling for Soup, and his kid, and our two boys, and man, we had all the mimosas. And then we went to Trades Day, which is like a big flea market, and we bought a fucking Mastiff.
Why would you do that?
So we came home with a dog that's
'Cause
going to
we had
weigh
all the
200
mimosas.
pounds. It's like, I'm trying not to weigh 200 pounds, and we just bought a dog that's going to weigh 200 pounds. But no, we love her. New member of the family. Her name is Hazel, and she's definitely found a good home here. We like her, and Milo really does like her, and he's worn out actually right now. Just
I know.
Describing the scene right now is pretty funny. We're in my studio, and both the older dogs are completely wiped out on the floor right now, and ordinarily never. Usually he's
Right.
up and
All
walking
over the
around,
place.
and
Yeah.
she's trying to get him out of here. But anyway, I and then we went over and had dinner with Mark and Jennifer and the girls, and we had edited together a movie of Ava and Lola singing some songs from Frozen 2 years ago, and it was a glorious Father's Day. So thank you to Casey and the kids for making that such a wonderful day. And I got to talk to my dad and talk to my brother. What did you do on Father's Day?
I went to Keller to hang out with my parents all weekend. My brother was in town. He flew in to drop off his daughter, my niece, She'll be here for the next couple weeks, and he'll come back. He'll come back in 2 weeks to get her. But so we all hung out over the weekend. It was awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend. And
I didn't hear from my kids.
No, son of a bitch. I didn't want to ask. It's like it's the whole fucking it's the whole fiance baby thing.
Right.
I can't stress enough, ladies, gentlemen. No. You never ask somebody how their fiance's doing or how the baby's doing.
It always backfires on them because their birthdays are literally weeks after Father's Day.
Yeah.
So it
is that just a chess match though? I mean, should you be the bigger person and just fucking send them something awesome to make them wouldn't that be the move or no? I mean, or is that something you've tried or?
I'm basically just kidding, but
what's going on? So you've been just shut in. So listeners of the podcast are interested in this shit, and I know you think they're not, but
there's no way that they are.
They are 100%. So and again, if you're just joining us, this again is Jaret Goes to the Movies, and we do eventually talk about a movie, but we like to talk about what's going on in our lives and stuff. And Rich doesn't think it's interesting, but a lot of people do. Rich, when we first started this podcast, was on Tinder and was doing the dating thing, and he's had some ups and downs in that. And for the last,
mostly ups.
Yeah, but like solid 2 months now, you just been off the grid.
There's stuff I've wanted to do that I'm just making time for.
Are you secretly dating?
No, I'm really not.
I kind of wondered that myself, too.
No, I am not. I'm not secretly dating.
Is there some reflection going on? Is there some sort of trying to figure out what the next move is?
It's 100%. I want to focus on some stuff that if I was dating someone, I wouldn't be able to talk to them or give them the attention that someone would deserve to have. And I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I want to make time for myself right now. And so I'm just doing that and not trying to be selfish by trying to date and do all the things I want to do and ignore the person when I'm doing all these things. You know what I mean? That's all.
And are you getting those things done, or is it one of those things where I've definitely taken the weekend off to clean the garage before, and you've seen my fucking garage.
No, I mean, a part of it's this. I'm trying to get into my groove for this. Like, I do my edits on Saturday, I do clips on Sunday, and it's a big part of it.
Yeah, I got to hand it to you, too, on this. And I do give you shit about a lot of things. You give me shit about a lot of things.
Sure.
One thing I never tiptoe around is how awesome you've been with the whole Jaret Goes to the Movies thing. I mean, this was your idea, and this was, something that we developed obviously together. We developed a show, but you have managed to keep us on track. We do a show every week, and it's so funny because I'm talking to a lot of people about doing podcasts. Everybody wants to do one, and there are some people that I think have a future in it, and some people probably not so much. But you think doing an hour-long show a week, hour-and-a-half long show a week is just, I could spare an hour.
Right.
Like, you just don't understand all that goes into that,
right?
And
we could do it live and just record live, and whatever happens, and if it sucks, it sucks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, we've definitely done shows that we're ending the show and we go, oh, that wasn't good, but I'm able to edit it to a point that it actually comes out as a really good product, and I think it's worth putting the time in for.
Sure, I agree.
And I told you when we did this, I said, look, you just show up, I'll do all the work. That's the deal we made, and it was more work than I was expecting, but I'm fine with it.
Right. Well, we've managed to combine efforts on the promo and stuff like that. But anyway, I just want to say you're doing a fucking fantastic job. Would not be the show that it is without you, and that is 100% the truth.
Yeah, so at least they're not going like 6 hours now, so it's probably easier to
it helps. It helps that we've honed in quite a bit on the recording.
But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
And I've been doing a lot of research, and I think a lot of the ones that sort of seem unedited are 100% edited.
Right.
I can hear the chops.
Right.
I can hear the half breaths, the laughs that sort of end awkwardly and those things like that. So I definitely think that there's a lot out there that are saying they're live, and maybe because you are sort of live. I mean, we're live right now.
Yeah.
But we do cut out a little bit of the fat.
We're not punching in or anything like that.
So, I mean, you just lose some of the points where it's just like, hey, what was that thing we were supposed to talk about? And, that stuff's cut out of there. But anyway, the Bandit is hired on to run a tractor trailer full of beer over county lines in hot pursuit by a pesky sheriff. Smokey and the Bandit, 1977 it came out. And
40 years ago, dude.
What's crazy, there's so many interesting things about this movie that are, first of all, it was huge. It was the second biggest film of that year next to Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah. So that puts a lot into perspective of just how big this crazy movie about literally, and if you're actually looking at it, the trip to Texarkana happens in the first 20 or 30 minutes of the thing. The whole thing is just about a drive from Texarkana to Atlanta. But man, a classic from my childhood. I wondered how it would age. I actually don't think that it aged badly at all.
Are you kidding? This was amazing. I enjoyed every second of this movie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like I really did think I was going into it and I thought I was going to watch it and I thought, man, there's just going to be so much shit to make fun of. And, they're just not. The dialogue actually still held up really well.
Yep.
There was just, just the coolness of the CB talk, like, because, that was a whole thing.
That was
back
a whole
then.
thing. Yep.
And, just because even Casey, she's 25 years old, she really enjoyed it as well and said, I really liked that movie as a movie, just watching it. But when they were doing the CB shit, she's just like, what the fuck are they saying? What's going on?
Are you serious?
I know what it is. I understood it. It was just fast talking gibberish.
Yeah, I fucking love Mercy Sakes, Mercy Sakes. I've always wanted to just work that into my lingo, but I never have been able to do it. The stars in this movie, Burt Reynolds, as we talked about, I mean, to me, I just remember him being the biggest star ever because my parents loved him.
Mm-hmm. Everybody loved it.
Sally Field, who was offered this movie and wasn't going to do it, she didn't feel like it had enough depth in it. She wanted to get more theatrical because she, I guess, had been playing Gidget and the Flying Nun and was ready to break out of that.
Well, she had just done Sybil, right? And she won an Academy Award for it.
Yeah, and I think she wanted to stay in that whole world of it just being more serious. So, I mean, man, she did an interview with Howard Stern. It's just so insane, her career, because her stepdad was a big stuntman as well. And then, so she was in that whole world, right, but got into acting accidentally. I mean, really wasn't even going to audition for the Gidget thing and just somehow ended up on it with it. I think there was only one season of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And same with the Flying Nun. Like back then you would sign on, you'd do the show and it'd be over. And so
was that pretty common though to do one season?
Yeah, I think it was, back then. So, all right, Jerry Reed, who, was a country singer and who had his biggest hit because of this movie.
Right.
Love the Snowman. I love this character.
Yep.
So great.
There's really not anything I don't love about this movie. I can't really think of one thing that, you know what I mean? It's so good. I couldn't believe how well it held up. I mean, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if you are a younger generation than we are, and you have never seen this movie, go see this movie. It is totally worth it. I think it's totally worth it. To see this movie.
Then stream it, whatever. If you got DirecTV, it's free, by the way.
I mean, go to your couch and stream this movie.
I had never seen it before.
Did you enjoy it as much as I say that I think you should?
Yeah, I also I think it was super entertaining because we were sitting in bed and he goes, "Oh yeah, we have to watch the movie tomorrow." And I was go, "What's our movie?" And he goes, "Smokey and the Bandit," which I've heard of. I know it's a big deal.
Sure.
And I just go, "What's it about?" And he died laughing. And I was like, "What the fuck is it about? Like, what is the big deal? Like, I really don't know. It's not like I haven't seen a billion movies.
Right.
I just happened to not seen this one. But I did not know this was what it was about at all. I had no clue.
And it's joy. I mean, it's just so...
No, it's good. And you know what's weird, too? I didn't realize that Burt Reynolds is super hot. I had no idea.
That's so funny.
I was talking about it. It's one of those things that, like, I know what Burt Reynolds looks like, and I knew what he looked like from this movie. But I think it took me just getting like a little bit.
Charm.
It took me getting a little bit older to watch it now, to not be like creeped out by the mustachy thing.
See,
I guess
there's a weird thing with perspective though as you age. I think this is
I like old guys.
Is a great point though, because I've said this a lot. Like for example, if you go Gilligan's Island for me, back in the day, it was always Ginger. If I watch it now, I'm like, it's obviously Marianne.
Absolutely.
If I watch Three's Company, back in the day, it was like everybody else was Chrissy.
It's still the same.
I was more of a Terry.
Still the same.
I was more of a Terry back then.
Nobody was.
I liked Terry, and I liked the cousin as well, Cindy as well. But now Janet.
No.
I just think Janet is so. And then
lost
Friends had happened with me. Everybody liked Jennifer Aniston, and as I got older, Courtney Cox was the go-to one for me. So anyway, the point being, your perspective changes as you get older.
It took me to my mid-20s to appreciate weird mustachy Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, totally.
I kind of get it.
Totally understandable. Jackie Gleason maybe provides one of the greatest performances in the history of cinema in this movie. I mean, Jackie Gleason basically improv'd his way through this motion picture and literally just delivers one of the greatest roles
fucking
ever.
Magical.
And every single thing he says and does and his actions and just the way that he handles the cigarette and just the way that he treats the poor actor playing Junior, who really never even needed to have a line. His best line in the whole movie is, "You want something? Some hush puppies, Daddy. We got no time for that crap." Anyway, I used to do impressions of Jackie Gleason doing Sheriff Buford D. Justice for my parents back in the day. And it really sounded more like The Godfather. I'd be like, "You black Trans Am," and it was really, really bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
And my parents thought it was so funny. So I just do it all the time. I was like, I'm fucking 7 years old. I thought it sounded really
could have been
but we've
really
got kids.
been the
We laugh
7-year-old.
at shit that's not funny all the time.
Yeah, well, that's 100% true. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Jackie Gleason's character was actually patterned after for some stories that Burt Reynolds told about his father. And his father was actually a highway patrolman and a sheriff, and also had a friend named Buford T. Justice. So
really?
That's sort of the development of that character, which I thought was super cool. Just the fact that he would just kind of listen to those things as they're talking about it, because apparently once Burt Reynolds signed on, a lot of these ideas and things became, it was kind of him adding stuff. He's the one who chose Fred the dog for the movie because he thought it was hilarious that he wouldn't obey any commands, and then he helps with develop this character or whatever. He's the one that chose the Trans Am. And so, he had quite a bit of imp. And again, he put Sally Field in the movie and talked her into doing it, which became a huge deal. You know
why she ended up doing it, though, right? She kept hearing reviews that she was amazing in Sybil, but that she was really ugly. And
really?
So the reason she ended up doing it was because she wanted the role that she could, be hot in, basically.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, she did a good job. I didn't really get it back then. See, there's another thing. So it's all perspective.
Right.
Because I remember as a kid not really thinking she was all that. I would have more went with because in Stroke or Race, he's opposite Lonnie Anderson. I probably went that direction. But not so much.
I still would do that. Did you see the sequels?
I did see the sequels. Yeah, Bandit 2. That's the one where Charlotte the elephant, and they have to get her, and they find out that she's pregnant. Dom DeLuise is the vet,
right?
And
did that start the Dom DeLuise Burt Reynolds love affair? Because they were in a bunch of stuff.
They're in a bunch of stuff together, but I'm not really sure if that's where it started. But obviously they're in Cannonball Run together as well, and quite a few things.
And one about suicide they were both in too.
Oh, what is that? Yes, you're talking about The End. That was in 1978. So
who was in that? What's the girl in that?
The girl
was that Sally Field also?
That's actually Sally Field as well. Yeah, so that she denies any romantic involvement between the two of them.
That's bullshit.
I think so too, because several movies, a lot of sexual tension. I think between the two of them. But yeah, 1978. So boy, Burt Reynolds and Sally Field were busy.
Back to music though. Jerry Reed has the 3 songs that are in this movie.
Yeah,
all 3 of them are amazing.
They're amazing, but yet they're almost like R. Kelly songs. In that, all he does is just tell you what's going on in the movie.
I love the music. It just made me happy.
It's like
it's in the closet.
Westbound and down, 18 wheels are rolling, and it's like we got to go get the beer, and then get it back to because they say we can't do it, and we know we can, and then it's just like
it's never been done before.
And now we're eastbound and down, and they're going, and then they call him the Bandit, and it's just like they're walking out, and it's just like you're gonna kiss Sally Field on the face. 100%, just spelling it all out. But he, so Hal Needham asked Jerry Reed to write the theme song for the film.
Right.
A couple of hours later, Jerry Reed comes in, starts playing him Eastbound and Down, and Needham immediately just stops him, right? And he's just like, and Jerry Reed's like, okay, I'll just rewrite it. And he's like, don't fucking change a thing. That's the song. And it became Jerry Reed's biggest hits.
Yeah.
Biggest hit. So
well,
crazy.
And rightly so. It's a great song.
Great song, and that I remember playing this at the skating rink, and it'd make me want to skate faster. I mean, I just fucking really put all my effort into.
Did you skate in one direction halfway through the song, and then the other direction? The
no,
other half?
Man. No. You know what? I was the dude that couldn't skate backwards. So
I was that dude.
When
also.
we couple skated,
I was that dude.
The girl had to skate backwards for me. So you and I couldn't have couple skated.
We just hold hands.
It just would have been hilarious.
We could have held hands.
And I would have been an infant. So yeah,
hold hands.
Well, yeah, I'd had to carry you around. I guess no, I wouldn't have been going skating when you were born. I already had a car.
Huh.
Yeah, I was in college. So
probably not.
Weird. All right. Well, that's the cast of Smokey and the Bandit.
What about the other cast member?
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. The star of this movie, right? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Burt Reynolds' penis in those tight ass pants.
Oh, you're talking Little Burt.
It wasn't that little.
Did you know that is actually where they got the name Burt's Beeswax? Was from that.
What?
Yeah, true story. He was just like, somebody asked him, they were like, what's that in your pocket? You got chapstick in there? You're just glad to see me. And that's where they got Burt's Beeswax.
Because he said none of your beeswax?
Yeah, he said none of your beeswax. I just made all of this
I know you did, but I was trying to
terrible.
keep it going.
The star of this movie is the fucking Trans Am, man.
Of course it is.
It is 100%. That's after this movie, the thing tripled in sales.
Was it already out?
It was already out. Yeah, so, I mean, they had a 77 model, and this is a 78.
Mm-hmm.
And
was it changed at all?
A little bit, but back then, cars didn't change a whole lot.
Yeah.
So there would be certain things that they would change, maybe in the interior and in the engine and things like that. But
6.6 liter.
So Burt Reynolds was
good.
Burt Reynolds was promised one of these if the movie was a hit.
Oh, really?
And not wanting to be that guy, he just kind of kept waiting. Finally makes the call, and he's just like, "Hey, I'd kind of been promised one of these."
Number 2.
So, yeah, so the guy who had promised it to him had retired. And the new CEO thought better. Yeah, the new CEO thought better than to give Burt Reynolds a car. So
really,
he didn't get one.
Wow.
I'm thinking, fuck it. You're in, Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper, and The End all in the same year. I think you can afford a Trans Am. It's not like they were an expensive car.
That's true.
But he did pick the car
Trans Am
for the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You know what? Before we dive into clips, let's just talk about our podcast a little bit. We are called Jaret Goes to the Movies. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us right here at JaretGoesToTheMovies.com, and you can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So if you're new to the show, thanks for listening. I want to thank our producers who support our show through Patreon.com. If you also want to be a supporter or be a part of the show or just be an all-around good person, go to Patreon.com and search for Jaret Goes to the Movies and help us keep the podcast free. I want to thank our producers who have done so, and all of them have been so gracious to us. David Murray, Ashley C., Sheila Ray Wonder, Wendy Croft, Diane Small, David Dooley, and Big Chris Whitehead.
Now get to Texarkana and back in 28 hours. That's no problem.
It ain't never been done before, hot shit.
Watch your language, little lady. The problem is that Coors beer, you take that east of Texas, and that's bootlegging.
I believe you're just a little bit scared.
That's great psychology. Why don't you just say something bad about my mother?
Your mama is so ugly.
Look, you make this run for me. Now, these Peterbilts here are worth $80,000. That comes to about $3,000 an hour if you make it 28 hours.
So little kid me really didn't, it never really registered that he was a trucker. You know, that the Bandit was a trucker. He's a famous trucker.
Yeah, I don't think that registered with me either.
You know, I don't remember that being a thing. But, you know, this is his truck that the snowman's going to drive. Right. And he's such a famous trucker that they're just paying him to lay in a hammock so people can look at him. Which is fucking hilarious if you think about it.
It's pretty ridiculous.
And his first line of the movie is, that famous Burt Reynolds laugh with all the turquoise in the world just all over him. And
I didn't even notice it. You sent me a picture today with turquoise. You're like, I'm ready for the podcast.
So I have that bracelet. I actually asked for it later in life.
And a ring.
Yeah, but the ring is a hand-me-down from my dad. And that ring was when we were acting up in the car. My dad, instead of saying, I'm going to pull the car over, would knock us on the head with that motherfucker. And boy, it hurt. So I got presented that sometime in adulthood, and it just sits right by my sink where I brush my teeth.
And you've never, ever hit your son on the head?
I have never hit my son with it, ever.
No. Yeah, I was not aware that was a man's bracelet. So I was just sitting around for a while, like wondering how long this, like, lady's bracelet was just hanging out on our on our bathroom sink. Somebody must have like forgot that or something.
But man, just this opening dialogue between him and Big Enos and Little Enos, and where he's just like, you know, watch your language, little lady. So fucking good. Yeah. Burt Reynolds just had this ability to make you smile without him really even doing or saying anything. It just looked like he was just about to say something hilarious.
Right.
All the time.
Yes. I made this drive, by the way, Atlanta to actually Dallas. I made it in 11 hours. Like I timed myself. I was not driving a Trans Am, but I was driving a Camaro RS at the time. But I made it in 11 hours, and I made this drive a shit ton with my parents, there and back kind of thing.
Which way did you go, though? Because
my family all lived in Atlanta, so anytime we went to do Christmas or anything, we always had to drive from Texas to Atlanta, or from Louisiana when we were in Louisiana, or Kansas. Right. But we always, Atlanta was our home base. So I've gone Dallas to Atlanta tons of times.
See, if I were going to, I guess they're going to Texarkana, so it makes sense. But I was going to say that
you'd
Louisiana
go 20 still. You would not go Little Rock. There's no way you would go that way.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so, especially in a fucking
way out of the way.
18-wheeler.
Yeah,
you
literally go I-20 and then you just pop straight up to Texarkana.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Right there, there ain't gonna be no more snowman and bandits. You understand why? Well, because I've got to go in the morning to Conyers and pick up a load of manure. Shitty job.
Every time anyone ever says anything about manure, I say shitty job.
Do you? And that comes from this?
Yes.
And did you know that it was from this?
Oh, this stuck with me forever. This was the line from this movie.
Right.
Shitty job.
I just love how he wakes him up, and the whole time Snowman's saying he's not going to do this. He's getting him dressed or whatever, and it's obvious, like, okay, we're 100% doing this. It's the whole fucking Ferris Bueller and Cameron thing, You just can't say no to the guy.
Did you like Jerry Reed's acting?
I thought Jerry Reed was great.
Awesome.
Yeah. In fact, it's funny to me. I mean, I just always knew him as the Snowman.
Right.
My whole life, I mean, to me, he wasn't even a country singer. He was the Snowman.
Exactly. Same here.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, not a lot of terrible acting from any of the main characters in the movie.
Agreed.
It's just the people on the CBs who do the fucking, who do just the cameos or whatever.
I'm pulled over by a cop and I'm giving you the heads up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually, that guy's a real actor too.
Yeah.
We did mention him because he's I'm not really sure that I even researched who it is, but that guy's been in a lot of shit.
I'm just wondering if much of this was scripted or if it was just scripted really bad and they had to do the best they could with it or something.
Well, there's definitely a lot of scenes that we'll talk about one in particular, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, was 100% just suggested by the actors themselves. So.
Okay. Oh, well,
God almighty, would you look at that?
Beautiful, huh?
Honey, hush. Yeah. Well, I don't guess we're going to be riding in the truck together this time, are we?
Oh, no, son. No, son. I'll be driving this one. Hey, Blocker. You be driving the truck. This is Bandit 1, and that is...
Bandit 2.
So this was always my dream car. And it still is.
Right.
If I always said if I had the money, I would love to buy myself one and my brother one. And
I sent you a picture of they were redoing this car in a modern version, and you were like, I'm buying it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I can make it make sense. It's like I have 3 children and 3 dogs now.
Make it make sense.
No, it's probably just probably not the best.
Timeshare it.
But it just one of those things that I always wanted this. But so, you'd play the whole deal when you're a kid and you'd just be like, okay, when I grow up, I'm going to have this and I'm going to have this. And
right.
I was going to have all the cars. So this was going to be my main car, but I was also going to have an 18-wheeler just to drive around in.
We should talk about the 18-wheeler too, because that mural on the side
so good
is iconic as well. It's like it's amazing looking.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I go, oh yeah, that amazing mural's on it. That's kind of the stupidest mural ever.
Right.
But I don't know if it's because I love the movie.
Horrible stick up of a stagecoach.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I miss, man, is like just trucks all used to look like that, but also tour buses always had those big scenes on the side. Right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, had we made it like big enough to have our own bus, I 100% had plans to do that. I was gonna have like the mural painted on the side, and it just like super old school, just some scene where the fucking horses running through a meadow. And
you want me to do that on your car, babe?
that was not on my new one. No.
Next Father's Day.
You gotta be careful what you say, because
next
Father's
I like
Day. Surprises.
I know you do. You don't even have to paint it on there anymore, though. You just wrap it. That's what we do in the suburbs now. Everybody wraps their cars.
Don't tell me what to do.
So fucking crazy, man.
When I say go to channel 21, you go to 19.
Okay, all right.
And then when I say go to channel 6,
I'm not going to go to 6.
You go to 3.
I'm going to go to 3.
And then when I say go to channel 2, we're not going to go to 2.
We're not going to go to 2.
You go to channel 1.
We're going to go to 1. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. What if we just change every time, stick with the odd numbers, and then we'll just do it that way?
Oh, yeah.
That worked.
I guess that works.
We did it! We did it! That's the first time we've ever acted out a scene together.
That was impromptu.
That
also.
was so good. I'm so proud of us.
Good work, guys.
So CBs were fucking huge.
They were huge, man. And so we had one in my grandpa's car, and I used to love talking on it when I was a kid. And then when my brother was, I guess 15 or 16, he set up what's called a base station in our house. And so he went to Radio Shack and got the big tower and everything.
Right.
So essentially we were a CB that didn't move. So you're a base station, and then so you could get on there and the truckers would talk about stuff, and they'd ask about the weather. So I actually fucking got on there all the time, and my handle was the Roly Poly. And I'm serious. And I used to talk to these dudes all the time. Like, there are just certain truckers that I would talk to. My mom's in the other room, so it wasn't anything weird or anything. But just these, I'd just be like, Breaker 19, anybody out there, anybody got your ears on? And I used to talk to this guy called the Ragin' Cajun. And there's another guy, and I cannot for the life of me think of what his fucking handle was, but I used to find him all the time because he did one route that was through Wichita Falls. But
did he ever show up and touch you in your bad place?
He didn't touch me in my bad places or anything.
No.
Back then it wasn't really like that. Like, I can see how now that would sound really, really weird. But I mean, so those were the original chat rooms,
Right, exactly.
If I would have
exactly.
I really didn't think much about that. Back then, my mom would be in the kitchen cooking, and here I am fucking setting up a child predator just right there on the base station.
Come get me.
You never fucking know what's going to happen. Jesus Christ. Do truckers still use CBs? I assume they do, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they?
It's probably still the best way of communicating in the area that you're in with people you have no prior contact with.
You would think there'd be an app. Now
maybe
that people use.
They just use Waze.
Yeah, exactly. You just fucking talk on Waze. Blip. How's it going up there? Blip. Just fine.
I just need some points. Where do you get points
I need
for
some
ways?
fucking points up here. Hold on, I'm gonna report this. Wait, just a second. Hold on, just a second. I gotta report this car stalled out on the side of the road. 6 points, motherfucker.
4 Easter eggs on the service road.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta exit real quick.
What do you get points for on Waze? What is it good for?
You get points anytime you. What do you mean? What's the purpose of getting the points, or how do you get points?
No, what's the purpose of getting?
There
the
is
points?
no purpose at all. It is. You do get a status. Like I'm as high as you can get. I have the crown, but there's no point in doing it all. I do have a theory that the point, or eventually, will be that you will be able to gather points up and be able to spend them at certain retailers or whatever. Because you can already see right now. If you pass like a Quick Trip or whatever, it'll ask you if you want to go. If you pass
poop
KFC, right? KFC or Starbucks, or a lot of times they'll pop up and they'll already offer you like hey, if you go to this Dunkin' Donuts, you can get this deal if you click right here, kind of thing. So
that makes sense.
You can see it all kind of working in that direction.
Hey, we really ought to pay somebody for that mess we made in there. I got that all worked out. You just leave a note, tell the folks to send the bill to Big Enos Burdette. Send bill to Big Enos Burdette. Burdette, B-E-R-B-U-R. Hell, I got to go.
I love that.
That's the best.
I used to say I got to go all the time. So they've not only
stole this beer.
Exactly, they stole it. I was gonna say like they broke into.
This is a burglary,
and it's not even like a distributor like you saw on the front of the place. It's just like a place that's closed,
like a gas station.
Yeah, stole 400 cases of beer and didn't even leave a proper IOU.
No.
Yeah. So here's the point already. There's a lot of laws being broken on this. It would seem like more than one sheriff would be out looking for this guy.
Here's my thing. They should have taken the same route that they took to get to Texarkana back to Atlanta because it took them like 2 minutes. It took them like half a song.
Exactly.
Half a song and they were there.
See, that's another thing that didn't register with me when I was a kid, because I remember I would hear certain versions of the song and I'd hear westbound and down, and
right.
I don't remember hearing that or whatever. It's because they're only westbound and down, as you said, for maybe about a stanza.
Right.
And then the whole fucking rest of the song story is eastbound and down. That's where all the trouble starts.
Right. And that's why it's the name of the song.
Right, eastbound and down.
Right, because nothing really happened on the westbound.
No, westbound, they fucking just made it. Right, man, so many.
I thought I remembered it wrong when I heard them when they were coming west and they were singing westbound. I was like, oh, I always thought that was eastbound and down, and I was like, oh, I guess I remembered it wrong.
Well, you have to remember, it's like an R. Kelly song. So he's saying, we're westbound. We've got to go and get the beer. They say that it can't be done, and then they get it. And then eastbound and down, we've got some beer and we have to deliver it before the time is up.
Right. Does R. Kelly sing about peeing on the girl? Is that a song?
Well, Dave Chappelle as R. Kelly does.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's what I knew I'd heard.
Can I get some pee-pee? Can I get some poo-poo? Gonna get some wee-wee? Gonna get some doo-doo?
Did you like that he broke the fourth wall?
Yeah, so I was going to bring that up as well. And what's funny is he breaks the fourth wall in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Right.
Like he doesn't.
But he doesn't ever do it again.
No, he doesn't. That's just it, though. It's like that's usually saved for like a point to where like something really,
right?
Something has happened that deserves that.
Or
this really wasn't even that big of a deal.
Or it's ongoing and they do it a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it's just this one time.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
I wonder if that was written in or what.
It was probably him goofing around and it was just a good take, so they used it.
So they're breaking into that place and they see, all the beer, whatever. And Jerry Reed goes, "It's like redneck heaven in here." And I wonder if that's where they got the name of that restaurant. Redneck Heaven.
I've never heard of that restaurant.
It's a restaurant here in the Dallas area. I believe they used to have their own TV show. And up until the last couple of years, you would go in on certain days and they wouldn't have on any clothes up top. They would just paint themselves.
What?
Yeah. And then they would bring you chicken fried steak.
And it turns out that's illegal.
Yeah.
And they did not have the permits because they were running a strip club instead of a
Right.
restaurant. So now they have to wear, they
How
have
do you
to
enforce
cover
that?
all under boob and nipple.
Wow.
Right. So even pasties don't work
No
anymore.
pasties, yeah, because they tried to do pasties for a while.
Wow.
Because under boob is kind of like, that's what dudes want to see. Like, right? Because we see cleavage, side boob. That's a good point. Never thought about that. We want to see nipple and under boob.
Yeah, but now you can't there.
Right. But think about it. You're looking at me funny. If a girl has on like a tank top, you see cleavage and side boob all the time.
That's the underboob is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you, but I know guys that just like them super upright and no underboob whatsoever.
No underboob.
John, the bass player, likes his boobs like that.
He likes his own boobs like that?
Not his boobs. He likes boobs
I want to
like
see
that.
those.
We were just talking about this the other day. That's why I was like in my head.
No
for a second.
underboob. So
Just-
then what does he hold on to?
Standing at attention, just boom.
Oh, I see what
They're
you're
like
saying. Like
pyramids.
the ones that sort of like face up.
No, just straight.
Just
Straight
Oh,
out.
like cone ones?
Yeah, like cones.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I like a little hang.
Interesting. A boob's a boob.
I knew you were
mean,
gonna
I think
say
we can
that.
all agree. Why?
No, we can't all agree.
Why can't, what the fuck?
A boob is not a boob. Many different types of boobs.
That's true.
Okay, and they're not just a boob is just like this boob. They're not all the same. You can't say that.
I can say that.
Last time I went to Redneck Heaven, the girl pulled her pin out of her G-string.
Oh.
And it just, like, not like the
Why
side
do
of
you guys
it, like
go
the
there? I
front
can't
of
do
it.
that.
Because they had big, giant, very cold beers.
Oh.
Yeah, and what do you mean you can't do that? You
I don't know. It just makes me feel weird.
That one we only went to on special occasions.
You
mean
went there
the-
all the time before.
Well, it was
You mean me and you together only went on special occasions?
to be fair, I would start out at the more classy restaurant called Twin Peaks, and they closed at a certain time.
They are absolutely the classiest one.
And I could
I
go
love that
next
one.
door. So yeah, there's a hierarchy of.
I think Bone Daddy's is classier.
Yeah, I took you to Bone Daddy's.
Yes.
Yeah, you liked it.
I wouldn't say it's classier,
Hooters?
but definitely hotter.
Well, no, that depends on which Twin Peaks you're talking about. I think Casey will agree with that for sure. Because it's just like a Hooters. Like, you can walk into a Hooters.
I hate Hooters.
So, yeah, I'm not really a fan either.
The
but,
outfits
like,
are terrible.
You go in one in fucking Austin or something, and it's retarded. But there's... Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, Emma. You're not supposed to say retarded?
No, you just mean slow, as in musical. Right?
The whole restaurant has a helmet on. And that's
what you can't say.
Over the line?
Yeah, you can't say that.
Okay, well,
you can say retarded because that's a
now I
musical
know.
term.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just it gradually gets slower
Right.
as you get in there.
It's an actual
Well, that's
word
probably true,
that has
too.
a meaning and it means slow.
100%. Casey likes Hooters because she likes chicken wings.
No. The wings at Hooters are amazing. Probably the best anywhere. However, the outfits are terrible.
I think they're terrible
but
too,
I
and I
don't
think
care
they're
about that.
outdated. I just think like
They're supposed to be, though. It's supposed to be like just their old school
I don't,
look.
well, it can supposed to be all day long. The fact is, I don't like looking at it. It just looks terrible.
So then I would say next.
I like
on
looking
the-
at hot wings.
Do you think so? Seriously though, Twin Peaks. I would say. Do you think Bone Daddy's is more classy than
not classy.
Twin Peaks or not?
I don't. Maybe I haven't seen
Twin
them
Peaks
in a long
is
time.
the classiest.
I guess.
No, I actually
They
think
changed Twin Peaks again. Now they wear like little they don't even wear like little tie tops. They wear the jerseys. Like
little half jerseys.
Yeah.
We went into one place called
Wild Pitch.
Wild Pitch. What were they wearing?
Fucking nothing. Bikinis.
Okay, but
They were.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. So they
No,
were.
remember
body
the one that we
painted.
went into?
What's the
and
blue one on the other side of the
we
highway?
haven't been there yet.
Oh,
But-
you haven't?
No.
That's
Do not go.
That's tight ends.
Tight ends. Do not look.
Really? I heard it was good.
No. Here's what happened. Well, I saw hotness at the bar. However,
Rich is hating on shit.
it was me, two girls, and two other guys. walked into tight ends. The hostess walked us to a table. When she was their shorts, they're like the, what are they called? Little boy shorts, I guess, where they're like super high up and their butt is.
Okay, you don't call them little boy shorts.
They're just booty shorts, right?
They call them boy shorts, not little boy shorts.
Okay, all right.
These shorts were little boy shorts, and she was not supposed to be wearing. She actually was not a big girl or anything. She just had so much cottage cheese on her butt and back of her thighs. I don't understand. Weren't in the mood for cottage cheese.
Jaret, you're talking about Tap House.
That's right. Okay,
I could work there.
But we literally she took us to the table, and I said, if this is what we're gonna have to look at for the rest of our time here, I want to leave.
That is so mean.
And everyone else, why is this mean?
That's just fucking mean.
I'm supposed to enjoy it?
Just don't look at her butt. Like, I mean,
you couldn't help it. She was walking in front of us.
Who else was working in the restaurant?
And I felt horrible for her. And that was why I wanted to leave, because I was like, I feel horrible.
What time did you
I can't support a place that makes their women wear these kind of shorts when they don't look good. Whereas if you go to Twin Peaks, they're covered, but they're still sexy.
Yeah, they won't let the pregnant girls wear the outfit.
No, they have to wear like a regular t-shirt. One of the girls had a regular t-shirt. And a fucking bow wrapped around her stomach, which was the stupidest thing I've ever
heard. I like that. That's neat.
It's not. It's
we went to the Tap House one night. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that our friends Mark and Bonnie went there every once in a while. And we went in, and it was
we thought it was just a craft beer place.
But it was fucking, they were all in like super skimpy lingerie. And
we didn't even know it was this kind of restaurant.
Just methy and I mean, should we say that? This is a local place. Like, we don't fucking care, right? Like,
no, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I could go in there and apply right now and get a job on fucking lingerie day.
You realize neither one of us know what to say here to this, because I mean, like, what are we supposed to say? Like, you don't
have to say anything. It's just a full, accurate description of this fucking place. It was so bad. And it's like all the girls that, like, you know, the girls that wear high heels but don't know how to walk in high heels?
Yeah.
They all work at Tap House.
Well, that might be worth going to see.
They're just hobbling around.
I would go to see that.
I actually think, and then the Wild Pitch place, it was just full on bikinis, right? Like, what
was so funny about that one was, I guess there was a theme day. So they're all wearing bikinis, and everybody has like fish scales, like, I guess, like, airbrush painted on them, like in different spots with glitter. And we're like, what the fuck's the theme? Like fish day? Like maybe it's mermaid day, but that doesn't make any sense. And then one girl walked out and she had cheetah print, and I realized, oh, it's animal print, but everybody just picked the fucking fish. So it was just a bunch of like glittery fish bikini women walking around. It made no sense.
So here's my thing. I just want the woman to feel comfortable. If I'm going to a place like Hooters or Twin Peaks or whatever, I just want the girl to be dressed in something that is comfortable to her so that she feels sexy. Because
how do you know that she didn't?
Oh my God, there's no way on the earth.
Benefit of the doubt guy.
Here's the thing. If she didn't feel comfortable, she wouldn't take the job or do that. So just because you don't like the way she looks in it doesn't necessarily mean that she feels uncomfortable in it.
That's true.
So some people do find that person attractive, and that it's just not your thing. So she's fucking fine in it. I guarantee you.
Empirically, she was not attractive in that outfit. There's not one person that would say, "Yeah, I gotta have me some of that."
I actually disagree with that.
I don't. But I'm not saying
some of that. You're supposed to order a fucking hamburger and go home. I doubt she said the same thing about you.
All I am saying is, you can still look sexy. Just dress for your body. That's
She's
all
wearing
I'm saying.
the required uniform.
I'm saying.
She's wearing an outfit to bring you a fucking hamburger. That is literally it.
I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm saying just dress for your body. If you have problems in an area, just wear something that complements.
But you can't say that.
Yeah,
you can't say your thighs are too big, so you have to wear these, because she might not give a shit.
No, I don't care. I'm saying you let her wear what she's comfortable with. There's no way in the world she's wearing those shorts outside of that job. That's not happening.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, none of them are wearing those shorts outside of that job.
I like
Also,
big
Okay, that's
butts
what
and I
I'm
cannot
saying.
lie. All you other brothers can't
but they
deny.
wouldn't work there.
Like
It wasn't a big butt. She was a small person. It was not.
Well, none of the
she
girls
was
are wearing
overweight.
bikinis
Some
and
people
fucking
like-
fish scales to fucking.
But some dudes
dinner.
like big thighs like that too.
It wasn't big. She's not big. She just had cottage sheets. It wasn't like she was fat or anything. It was just she was
had
young.
cellulite.
She was small. She just had tons
I
of
got that.
cellulite. That was
Yeah.
it. And there's no way she's wearing that outside.
Maybe
this
she
job.
was in the big hailstorm that happened.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, I retract everything.
Okay.
All right, let's
All
move
right.
on.
No, man. How we doing, son? Come on back.
Hang on just a minute and I'll tell you. Looks like we're about 28 minutes ahead of schedule. Come back.
I hate to say I told you so.
Now, don't lose your head, son. We still got a lot of boogieing to do.
Now put the pedal to the metal. I'm 10-10 on the side.
For sure. Me and Fred here. We got your back door, Henry Fred.
Fred is amazing, but that dog needs Visine.
Yeah.
His fucking eyes were, oh my God.
Yeah,
they
they
were
were super bloodshot. Man,
super.
and you know, fuck, I bet that dog weighs 125 pounds at least.
Easily.
And like getting him in and out of that truck had to have sucked.
He was amazing.
Oh, so good.
Huge impact on me as a kid. I remember that dog and just thinking how cool he was. And
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, there was so my parents moved me to Choctaw, Oklahoma for one summer, and we ended up coming back to Wichita Falls, but we lived next door to a couple that had two little girls, and they had one of these basset hounds. And
that big?
That big, just
Wow.
as just slow and
Yeah.
just mopey, and his name was Lightning. And we got the biggest kick out of this dog. Hey, Lightning, and just he really didn't give a shit what was going on.
So CB movies blew up after this. Convoy was the biggest one, I think. After
What a
this
good one! I was just telling my kids about that recently.
Yeah,
Then you had TV too, though. BJ and the Bear.
yeah. Oh yeah. BJ and the Bear.
And but yeah, man, Convoy, another great skating song. Just awesome. It's like the skating equivalent to a conga line.
Yeah.
And you just formed a convoy, and they'd take you out of the rink and in between the pool tables and shit.
I remember loving that movie too, but I'm betting it doesn't hold up as well.
I bet you $1,000 you're right, because there's no possible. I don't remember anything about the plot. I just
No.
remember the song.
I just remember they just all lined up driving across the desert or some shit.
Yeah,
like it was fucking Independence Day.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Like in a
Same
row.
scene.
Yeah.
Well,
hilarious.
first they were lined up and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we got you now!" And all of a sudden, all
Yeah.
the trucks spanned out, and it was like 1,000 trucks. And he was like, "Oh my God, now I'm scared. I'm gonna have to turn around."
That's one of those many country songs, though, that it was a song and then it got made into a movie because and you know what? Now maybe this is why, because this song did so well, being about like literally like word for word about a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So then you had like Convoy. So there was a song out and they made the movie, and then you had the Take This Job and Shove It.
Yeah.
They made a movie about that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like maybe
9 to
just
5.
people. Yeah. 100. Yes, exactly. That was a good movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I like 9 to 5.
Sorry, I don't want to get married.
Terrific. That makes two of us. Will you unzip me?
Sure.
Does this thing move?
Oh, yeah.
I think this would be an amazing time to visit with our friend Ashley C. and discuss a few things.
Hello?
Hello, Ashley. Do you go by Ashley C because your last name is somewhat complicated?
Yes, no one can say it right, so.
Right, I get it.
Not Kohea?
No, it's not. It's Kohi.
Kohi!
Yep,
Wow, holy shit. Do you know Cambria?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I just thought maybe you guys knew one another. You just never know. All right, so Ashley, did you get a chance to watch Smokey and the Bandit?
Oh, I did.
Okay, now you've obviously seen that before, right?
You know, if I have, it's when I was really young. I had no real memory of it, other than thinking, oh, I've seen this before.
Yes, but you knew... You probably knew things like you knew about the Trans Am, and you knew you knew Eastbound and Down, that song.
Yes.
I mean, Jackie Gleason, though, was a master in this movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Casey sat and enjoyed the movie with me, and actually really did enjoy it.
Had she ever seen it?
She had never seen it.
Okay.
And she did just enjoy just watching it and the story and all of that, which I thought was interesting because I don't remember me ever. I didn't, as a kid, I didn't understand half the shit that was going on.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
So mathematically, bootlegging and this and I don't know any of that. But every single line he would say, she would get. And it just seems like that character is going to be timeless because she was just dying laughing, like with everything you say. And she would say sometimes, she's like, I have no idea why that's funny, but that is so funny. You know, just everything he would say. And just with the cigarette the whole time. And just, it was so good and so ridiculous at the same time. Did you like it?
I did. I really did. Something that was interesting is that, because of course I'm in Arkansas, and the writers, the geography is completely screwed. Nothing they reference is even remotely right.
Right.
And so it took me a little bit. That kind of bothered me at first. Like, they make a reference about being up near Fayetteville, and I looked at my husband, I was like, who the hell would come through Fate to go to Georgia from Texas? 5 hours out of your way.
Exactly.
Like, you just have to ignore it. It's okay. But once I got past that, I really did enjoy it.
No, I totally feel you. There's a thing in the trivia about, he says, I guess, he goes, we're somewhere off Highway 82 or whatever. And the thing is like, yeah, there's no Highway 82 anywhere near where they would have been. But you're right. I mean, the road, yes, they would have gone through Arkansas, but they would have been close. They would have been close to Little Rock, but nowhere near Fayetteville ever. No. And this is the first time that really actually ever that got in my head too, because we've driven that so many times. I mean, going through Little Rock and then over to Memphis, and which is a hike, by the way. And then to Nashville, and the whole Memphis thing is so weird because it's in both states, right? And then and there's a time change in the middle of the city.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I don't know why they did it. I think it has something to do with the founding fathers. Have you seen the Broadway production Hamilton?
No.
I believe they explain all of it in that.
Okay.
All right, Ashley. Well, thank you so very much for, as always, for continuing to support us. We definitely thank you more than you'll ever know. Ashley C. is one of our producers and a loyal supporter on our Patreon site from the very start, by the way. Are you having wine? You drinking white wine?
Yes.
You're just having a little wine? Man, I'm jealous. Me and Rich haven't been drinking the last few weeks. And it's amazing how the show has progressed into an actual workable podcast. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it, but random question time. All right, Ashley, this is how it works. I think you've done this before, haven't you?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to ask you 5 random questions. You and then there will be a bonus question at the end. The bonus question at the end can replace one of the questions if you do get one wrong. If you get all 6 correct, you will now earn your name onto the Wall of Fame that is located right inside my house in a place that no one will ever see. And but we will have that plaque. We don't post any pictures of it because we do not like to post pictures of valuable things. And as you know, this is of great, great value. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, question number 1. In a drunken state during Father's Day, I had too many mimosas and I had been on a cleanse. And probably my alcohol intake probably was more than what I was able to really handle. And I bought a dog that's going to weigh about 200 pounds. Would you say, A, I made a good decision because the dog has a happy home and we are super happy? B, I made a bad decision because now I'm going to have to pay extra for the poop guy to come twice a week because now I have 3 dogs and one of them shits the size of me. Or C, all of the above.
C.
That is correct. All of the above. It was a good and a bad decision. You know what? We'll pay the poop guy the extra money because she's freaking cute. All right, let's get into Smokey and the Bandits. This is question number 2. All right, now, true or false? Even when Burt Reynolds had hair, it still looked like he was wearing a wig.
True.
That is true. Absolutely true. 100%. All right. This next question gets a little bit harder. You're driving down the street. There is a woman dressed in a wedding dress standing in the middle of the street, forcing you to slam on your brakes. The woman quickly opens up your door Do you, A, go, you want to get out of here and take off with her in the car? B, yell, what the fuck are you doing, and try to get her out of the car? Or C, lose your shit and just let her have the car and take off running?
C.
C is absolutely correct. You are on a roll. No one wants a crackhead in a wedding dress jumping into their T-topped car and then rolling down the house. She could have jumped out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could have been really, really messy. Really messy. All right. You're doing great. Question 4. I always wanted to have a 78 Trans Am. And after this movie, then I also decided that one of my cars, because I was going to be super rich when I grew up, was going to be an 18-wheeler. I wanted one just to drive around in.
That sounds very logical.
Okay, so my third favorite car was a Corvette.
Okay.
And I was going to get that. And I liked the Corvette Stingray.
Okay.
Ooh, me too.
Okay. Now, if you're putting all of this together, and I've got the Trans Am, I've got the 18-wheeler, would I have gotten the Stingray with T-tops or without?
Without.
Without is absolutely correct. I've already got T-tops on the Trans Am. That's right. People were stealing them, you know, back in the day. They stole my brothers off of Dan Zam like 4 times. You know? Yeah. That was in 1985.
I did not get T-tops.
Did you not?
No.
All right. So that was question 4.
That was 4.
Holy crap, Ashley. You're doing so good. Now, this is question 5. And they do get a little bit harder as we go. And if you get this correct, then the bonus question is just that. Bonus. All right. In the movie Smokey and the Bandit.
Keep it together.
Sorry. In the movie Smokey and the Bandit, there is one scene where Smokey and Frog, the Bandit and Frog are walking up towards the front of the car, and they're going to sit down, and they're going to kiss for the first time. You may have noticed his jeans at that point. If you were to put those jeans on anyone else at the time, would they have A, gone on Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees, Ozzy Osbourne of Black Sabbath, the girl who played one of the sisters on the Waltons, or Elvis Presley?
Oh, that is tough. I'm going to go with Barry Gibb, yeah.
Barry Gibb is correct. You got all 5 right. That's right. Those jeans would have looked great on Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees. 100%. All right, now is the time that we've all been waiting for. It's time for Rich's bonus question. And Rich will now ask you these are very difficult. They're getting very difficult as time goes on, Ashley. So I wish you the best of luck.
All right, Ashley, you ready?
Ready.
Would you let 1977's Burt Reynolds smoke you in your Bandit?
Yeah.
Yes,
that is
you
correct.
Would. Of course,
you would. Everybody would. Casey was watching last night. She said, I never really thought about the whole Burt Reynolds thing before, but, looking now, I totally get it.
I get it.
Yeah, one of the greatest looking men of all time at the time.
I agree.
And I just like saying the word time.
Yeah.
That was random question time.
Ashley, fantastic job. You've won your name up on the leaderboard, and you will forever live there with a great honor. And it has been awesome talking to you, and you are the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and we will see you soon.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with my guns on this now. After the honestly, girl in a wedding dress is standing in the middle of the road, and I have to stop the car. But I'm like, that kind of shit scares the shit out of me. Like I get scared about things. I told you about the meth head falling in front of me.
Scary.
Yeah, the meth head fell in front of my truck at Sonic when I was in Wichita Falls a few weeks ago, and
you didn't tell me that.
Scared the shit out of me. I don't know. I don't like stuff like that. Just sort of haunting.
I don't think anybody likes stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just weird. So, I don't know. You never know what the fuck some girl
Sally
in a wedding.
Field is cute as a button in this movie. She is adorable.
She is adorable. Yeah.
And at her age now, she's kind of shrill to me. She's kind of complainy looking or something. I know it's hard to explain. I'm not explaining this right, but she's kind of like, oh my God, she would fucking piss me off.
Yeah, again, she did an interview with Howard Stern, and she was in there for about an hour and a half, and get what you're saying.
Okay,
there's
yeah.
there's like a shrill to her voice now, and I do feel like she sort of gets typecast now as that sort of naggy mom
Right.
a lot, which probably doesn't help the case where you're concerned. But I will say she's super cool. Like, she's got her head on her shoulders and
Sure.
and seems just to be a happy person and someone who's done well and with her craft, and more power to her.
So this is when the guys come out of the van and start stripping her car, and then we meet Buford T. Justice for the first time.
Yeah, and I fucking love the opening where he just walks up to the guy and kicks him in the ass, and he goes, "That was an attention getter." So good.
And apparently they noticed the license plate for some reason, Band 1.
Yeah, exactly. So
why on earth, if you have a blocker car, are you going to put a license plate?
Personalized plates. Yeah.
A, personalized. Why even go through that
Fantastic
trouble?
point.
And then B, why something that's going to tell who you are?
Yeah, exactly. Looked like it was the Bandit. Yeah, so fun. Yeah, and the guy just instantly knows exactly what. Because back then, not everybody had personalized plates. They weren't cheap. When you did see them, you'd remember.
Right.
Now everybody's got them.
Yeah,
it's just like,
and they're dumb usually.
They are dumb. Usually.
I saw one that in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, because that's where I eat every single dinner.
I know.
It said Maxima. Guess what kind of car she was driving?
A Maxima. Yes. Nice.
Wow. Original.
Fucking great. That's what that is.
You paid, what is it, extra $50 for the...
Well, no, you have to pay... It's not a lot. I mean, you have to basically buy
like
the license. So I have a like special plates, but I don't get to pick what's on it.
Right.
But yeah, then every time you register the car, you have to pay the fee again.
Right.
So
she got a license plate that basically says what is just up and to the left.
Right.
Already says.
Yeah, it's already on there.
Yeah. Don't go home.
Yeah.
Don't go to eat.
Yeah.
Don't play with yourself.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look nice on my highway.
Don't go to eat. That's when you can sort of tell that maybe he's making this shit up as he goes. So good. And then the guy's just like, okay, I think he's gone. I'm getting out of here. And the other dude's like, you do what you want. I'm staying right here. What would you have done back then?
I'd have fucking hightailed it.
I'd have got the fuck out of there.
Especially if it wasn't my van.
Exactly. So really, who gives a shit at that point? I mean, back then, apparently you just ran.
Yeah.
Nobody walks out on a pretty wedding I set up. I'm gonna get that girl, set everything straight. She insulted my town. She insulted my son. Look, what if we... She insulted my authority. Yeah. And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism. Happens every time one of those dancers start poontanging around with those showfolk fags.
I mean, I was halfway down the aisle, and I said to myself, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? His mother doesn't even have any teeth. And then I jumped in this car, and I don't know, it blew up on the side of the road. And then I ended up in this goddamn airplane.
That was the first
airplane.
That was the first time that I noticed two of those things. That his mother doesn't even have any teeth, and she ended up in a goddamn airplane. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, they're having so much fun. They're just making shit up.
I know.
So great. And I love movies like that. Just such a good. They just all had such a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned that most everything he said was improvised.
Yeah, almost everything that Buford T. Justice says is 100% improvised. Which again, so one of the cool things that Burt Reynolds started, and we didn't get it because we streamed this on Encore, but after this movie, they show their blooper reel, and you can tell, just that they're just making each other laugh the whole time.
Right.
Because as they're saying these lines, they just can't even hold it together. But yeah.
Originally, he was supposed to be in the car by himself, and he insisted that they put another actor in there and just have someone to play off of, and that's when they created the junior character.
Which is genius, by the way,
Yeah.
because it's just, and again, the whole idea that he's just there to fucking hold his hat and shit.
Wait a minute, am I your junior?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. By the way,
do I need to start calling you daddy?
Do you know how, isn't it crazy how Burt Reynolds' T-tops are open the whole time and his hat stays on fine?
Right.
But Jackie Gleason's hat has to be held on.
There was no windshield.
Well, yeah, I guess what you're saying. You ever been in a car with T-tops, though? Like, I mean, and the windows were down. There's a lot of wind going.
I think it might stay on, maybe.
Who knows? It's got to be, maybe it's glued on with his toupee. Do you think that this is his real hair at this point?
I don't know. I mean, it probably maybe has like a little help. Well, he does have a hat on the whole time, so.
Well, when he took it off, so I never thought about it before because again, I was a kid. So,
I'm sure he was already having issues.
Yeah.
And then that's probably why he wore the hat so much.
It definitely seemed like maybe there's a little something going on when he took the hat off. And it wasn't just hat hair.
Right.
It seemed like maybe there was a little happening there. But,
little.
Breaker to the Bandit.
Come on back, Breaker.
Bandit, I've got a Smokey report for you. Come on.
Well, talk to me, good buddy.
You got trouble coming.
Well, what's your handle, son? And, what's your 20?
My handle's Smokey Bear, and I'm tail grabbing your ass right now.
Speaking of ass, this is right about the time when we see Sally Field's ass. And it is a good one.
It is a good one, and it looks nice.
She can wear little boy shorts.
Sure.
They're not little boy shorts. Ugh.
Did you ever see the show Gidget back in the day?
I've seen snippets. I may have seen an episode. I can't remember.
I only remember it because before we had cable, we would go stay with my grandma.
It was on the beach. That's all I knew, really.
Yeah, and so the idea of the show is she was a surfer girl.
Right.
And but we would go stay with my grandma, and they had like more channels than we did. They had these channels that came in from Oklahoma City that would show like reruns of Gilligan's Island and Gidget and stuff like that. So I actually have a song where I mention how a girl looks like Sally Field, so I called her Gidget or whatever. Never made it. It's a Bowling for Soup song that I released as a demo a few years ago, but I thought she was real cute back then when I was a kid. But and then I don't think I thought about it again. And then now I think you're right about her butt.
It's amazing.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Oh, and this is also about the time when all the CBers just start helping him out.
Yeah.
They just know he's out there.
Right.
And
well, this just happened at a time where, that was pretty much the norm. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, but how do they know that? Because how CBs work is they only work in a certain area around where you're at that very moment. So if they heard him on there talking, and first of all, they're switching channels all the time.
Right.
There's one channel that's a normal channel that everyone is just on, because that's how you hear people and know to start talking back to them. Everyone's on this one channel that they're usually on.
Usually 18
you
or
switch
19.
to other channels if you want to have like private conversations, quote unquote private. And then they're supposedly switching to every odd channel, every time they talk. So they're like not on any of the normal channels. So no one would know that they're driving around.
Well, they would know because there's other talk from other people going on around that are on that channel talking about that the Bandit is doing this, he's passing through here, doing whatever. And so anyway, let's just go with it and assume that everybody knows what's going on.
All right.
This is Sheriff George Branford of Deason County, Arkansas. We are apprised of the situation and are taking appropriate measures. Did you say you are a sheriff?
That's a big 10-4. This is Sheriff Cupid D. Justice of Texas.
Texas? You know, of course, that you're out of your jurisdiction. I suggest that you let my department handle the situation.
That's very comforting, but I'm in a high-speed pursuit. Don't you hear good?
I hear perfectly. The fact that you are a sheriff is not germane to the situation.
The goddamn Germans got nothing to do with it. What do you say? Got one shit at a time.
All right. One shit at a time. He gets himself so worked up.
Oh my God. It's
now, do you remember in Smokey and the Bandit 2 what the whole deal with him was? So he had got himself so high strung that he had to take a minute. So anytime he would get worked up like this,
that's right.
a beeper would start going off, and he'd have to go,
yes.
Oh
my God, that's hilarious.
So like anytime he'd have to just stop what he was doing, so he'd be like screaming, "You shit!" So they did manage to keep that character amazing throughout. And then I think I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 where he has to call his brothers in, and he calls his brother Reggie, something else, and then his brother Gaylord, and they're all played by him, and Gaylord's a gay dude from Canada or whatever, and they're all police officers, right. And they come. So I don't.
Oh, he was a Mountie, and he was all like flamboyant.
Totally. So anyway, just the Jackie Gleason character through all 3 of the main movies.
And Bert's not in the third one?
He's not. I think he makes an appearance.
Who are they chasing?
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So
I might have to watch that.
Yeah, it's and it's like a super modern. It's a Dan Zam, I think. Like it gets into like the more modern body style.
Yeah. Did you see that? They went right through our roadblock.
All of the deputies are amazing.
You some bitches couldn't close an umbrella.
That's based upon Burt Reynolds' dad as well. So in the character development, he would be like, yeah, instead of son of a bitch, my dad would always say some bitch. So, I mean, like how many times, I mean, just as kids or whatever, that's what we would say, some bitch.
Yes. Is that from this movie then?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Some bitch.
This is where he jumps the creek to get away from the cops.
Right.
2 years later, not even 2 years later, Dukes of Hazzard becomes a show where they built the entire show around this scene, getting away from the cops by jumping rivers.
Interesting. 100%. Well, you know what? That's a pretty good segue then. Why don't we check the mailbag? Because I think we want to talk about that now anyway. Right. So
let's check the email box. Email us at jaredgoestothemovies@gmail.com.
All right. John Jacobs sent us an email, and it says, have you seen all, including made-for-TV sequels of Smokey and the Bandit? I think it's the only franchise other than Revenge of the Nerds to get that kind of treatment. So apparently there were a bunch of different, like, made-for-TV things with Smokey and the Bandit. I don't remember any of that. But one cool trivia thing is this. 3 Dukes of Hazzard, the 1979 stars, had cameos in Smokey and the Bandit. So they were Sonny Schroyer, the guy that played Enos, and then John Schneider, who was Bo Duke,
right,
and Cooter Davenport, the mechanic. All right, so who was played by Ben Jones. So nearly 2 decades later, then Dukes of Hazzard then would become a huge show a year later, 2 years later. So nearly 2 decades later, John Schneider played the sheriff in one of the 4 television adaptation versions of Bandit. And Burt Reynolds played Jefferson Davis Hogg in the movie adaptation of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
So a lot of...
we did it. We solved Smokey and the Bandit.
We solved Smokey and the Bandit.
Let's check the Facebook page.
All right, so Lucy Murray asks, has there ever been a time where Jaret managed to change Rich's mind about something he was hating on? If so, what was it? I don't think so. I don't think anybody's ever changed your mind about anything.
That's not true. First of all, I mean, you joke that I hate everything and that I'm hardcore about my opinions or whatever, but that's not true. I actually
joke about that.
Anything that I argue strongly about, it's usually because I've thought a lot about it and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah. But I love when people change my mind, because if you can change my mind, you've done your homework. And it happens. It absolutely happens.
I don't even try, because I don't think it's worth the arguing.
And that's fine.
Because I think we've talked about this before. You usually don't say anything unless you're already pretty strongly in belief that what you're saying is correct.
Correct.
So it's just not really one of those things that I think I've even tried to do. But I do think that it's an important dynamic of our friendship and our show that you do have those qualities, and especially since I'm not like that.
Right.
I think that's super important. The thing is that you're like that equally as strong when you're talking about something like which fast food place has the best cheeseburger.
Well, it's Whataburger.
And then into fucking like political shit. So you just have a strong opinion no matter what.
Look, In-N-Out fries taste like cardboard. they're like burnt or something.
Can we not talk about this? I haven't had a cheeseburger in so long. It's not even fucking funny. So let's just.
So the answer is no.
We jumped on. We did that. Did you see what we did?
Yes, I did.
I want to jump something else. I want to jump a house. I want to jump something.
Well, jump me. Honest to God, it wasn't my fault, Sheriff. I stopped.
Yeah, right.
Hey, boy. Where's Sheriff Bradford?
I am Sheriff Branford.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio. What the hell is the world coming to?
Holy shit, this was racist as
Very
fuck.
racist. Yeah.
Wow,
absolutely.
this was 40 years ago, though.
Yeah. But I definitely, me and my brother used to say, what the hell is the world coming to? All the time. Fucking love that line. Such a great line. But yes, very, very racist.
Super racist.
That point. But you know, I mean, this was the time though where you could laugh at certain things like that and find the humor in it. And a couple of years after Blazing Saddles, and you know,
the commentary of the movie isn't that, oh my God, what is the world coming to? The commentary of the movie is there are some hillbilly, old-fashioned people that actually think that way, and the joke is on that, not that they're worried about the world coming to.
The funny thing is when I was a kid, I had no idea what that meant. I just thought he thought they were terrible drivers, you know, and went into the fucking pond, you know,
because he is pretty tall.
Yeah,
I don't understand why you would think he's taller.
Yeah,
yeah, it went over my head too.
Yeah.
How much owe you, ma'am?
$1.50.
There you are. Keep change.
Just keep your eye out for that Mr. Bandit. Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry. You want something?
Hush, puppy, Daddy.
We got no time for that. Son of a bitch.
Diablo and Doc.
Stack in my slip.
He must be in a hell of a hurry, huh, Sheriff?
Bet your ass on that boy.
All right, so this is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Right.
Every single line is quotable. And so this whole scene was Jackie Gleason's idea.
Right.
This wasn't even going to happen.
Right.
This whole run-in with them. So a Diablo sandwich is a spicy sloppy Joe.
I was going to ask that. I was like, what the fuck is
It's
a Diablo
essentially
sandwich?
made the same way as a sloppy Joe, only you replace that sort of tomato saucy thing with Mexican seasoning, and you add a jalapeno to it, and that makes a Diablo
That
sandwich.
would explain how he got it so fast, because they probably just have that in a vat somewhere. And
Yeah,
they just
sure. It's
slopped
just
it
right
on.
there. But it's in a Dr. Pepper. I'm going to make it zappy. I'm in
a
a
lot
goddamn
faster
hurry.
than Hush Puppies, because
No, well, they don't have any time for that. I just love that that's what he fucking chooses. Just so good. It's like you want some Hush Puppies, and that. So you know what? You choose that, you don't get shit.
And Bert is cleaning. Here, let me clean your tie for you. He dips the napkin in coffee and then wipes his tie with it. After he hightails it out of there, the sheriff comes out of the bathroom with toilet paper.
Yeah.
Goes all the way outside. And there's toilet paper like streaming back to the bathroom, and the lady's all chasing him down. I actually have a story. My first wife, she probably, some people would consider her an attractive person. She got this green jumpsuit, and she was so proud of it because it was lime green, bright lime green jumpsuit. This was early 90s, so
okay.
She was so like proud, like she thought she'd look hot as shit. She looked, and she did. I hate her guts, but she looked hot as shit in this. So she was doing karaoke, and she was kind of a big deal at the bar we were having. You know, everyone was.
You guys knew everybody at the bar.
Well, it's not that we knew everybody. It was just that she was kind of making an impact with her lime green jumpsuit. She's doing karaoke, and she sings well and stuff. And so she was just feeling like hot shit. So she goes to the bathroom and comes all the way back to the table from the bathroom. Just got toilet paper at the bottom of her shoe all the way back to the bathroom.
God.
She was mortified. We had to leave immediately.
That's a leave moment, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've done the like have a trail of toilet paper from my shoe thing.
Yeah.
But I've never had it hanging out of my pants before. But I've seen multiple guys in my camp come out with the toilet paper hanging out of the thing. And it's so hard to me to figure out how that happened.
Yeah, how do you...
I mean, I guess it gets stuck in there, and then you pull up your pants. Or
I mean,
whatever.
is it all the way to the bathroom, or just
nothing
like
crazy, just like a kite tail?
I don't think I've ever gotten out of a bathroom stall.
She had it all the way back to the bathroom
on my shoe. Like maybe like step on some, kick it off, continue walking. Like I feel like that's self-aware.
You've never had it stuck to
No,
yourself?
like no further than like a
Now,
stall
you
door.
saying that's like being self-aware is fucking hilarious, by the way, because like I wouldn't say that you're
I
self-aware.
know, but I'm saying, but like something like that, I feel like you can just,
I just
feel
don't
like
pay
your-
attention
that
to it
on
all
your
the time.
Foot. Like
it fucking just happened to me like the other day on my foot.
Yeah.
I will definitely leave my bathroom and notice that there is an extra thing in my pants that shouldn't be there.
Oh, and you left some in your butt, like a dingleberry, or
no,
what?
like
You left some
like
toilet
I
paper
wiped
on your
it. I
butt
thought
crack.
I dropped it and it didn't
Didn't go. Oh, and it's still in your
still
pants.
in my pants. Yeah,
dude, this is my favorite of my accidental bathroom stories. I think I had gone in and I had to take a poop, and I had a stomach ache, so I was drinking a Sprite. And in England, a lot of times the toilet tank is put like up above your head so that there's gravity basically with the pipes, and so that when it comes down, it's all really, harsh flush. Some reason I set that Sprite up there on top of the tank, and I remember sitting there, and I literally am thinking the whole time, like, that's gonna fucking fall on me.
Is it open?
I know. Oh yeah,
It's like
it's
a glass?
open. I've had a couple of drinks. No, it's a can.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, man, that's gonna fucking fall on me. That was the worst idea to set that up there ever. I probably should stand up and get that. I bet it's gonna fall on me anytime, and like I should just take a break and stand up and get it. And about that time, somebody went into the stall next to me. Which creates a bit of a little shake in the whole place. And that fucking thing fell, and it hit me in the head without spilling.
Right.
Dropped down in front of me, and then landed upside down right in my fucking pants where my underwear are, and just poured out right in the middle and just emptied itself right just in my pants.
This goes back to bringing drinks into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, never.
And that one, I don't even remember what the circumstances were.
So what did you do?
Well, luckily I was at a club and we were playing, and I don't think I'd brought any clothes in yet or whatever. But like I walked out and I'm just wearing my boxers and shoes, and I'm just laughing hysterically, and then doing the thing where I'm trying to fucking tell the story, but you can't really tell a story that has that many fucking moving parts when you're hysterically laughing and really embarrassed at the same time. Yeah.
My hat flew off, Daddy. I hope your goddamn head was in it.
So they lost the top of their car, chasing them, and they go under an 18-wheeler and just shears off. So now they're driving this car with absolutely no windshield, no top whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the hat thing.
And he just keeps referring to the car as evidence. It's just like they're fucking driving evidence. This poor fucking car has just been through the ringer.
So they jump over the fence to the football game.
Yeah, jump over the fence to the football game and almost kill a bunch of kids. This was kind of the one where it's like, okay.
And
like
she's driving.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really know that.
Yeah, people died. Like,
yeah.
I had to have.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this is not probably the best of the setups for hilarity. It's like, wait a minute, there are children running. Oh, you're just going to go right into the fucking press box where there's obviously two people standing there? You could hit the brakes.
Yeah. Junior wants to watch.
Yeah, the football game. That's fucking funny, by the way.
You
Just
stay and watch the game.
Hey, it's a football game.
I'm going back.
Can we watch, Daddy? So good. Poor Junior, man. He's great.
What do you do?
Well,
Straight.
I just go from place to place and do what I do best.
What's that?
Show off.
Yeah. You do that well.
And sleeping with hot women like Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
He does
yeah,
that
that
well,
was
too.
a thing. They were married for a long time.
She was amazing.
Yeah, she was. Did you ever watch WKRP?
Oh,
in
God, yeah, just for her. Like, literally
really?
just to
I
watch
thought
her.
that show was really funny, but you're probably right. I think I might have just watched it for her.
She was ridiculous.
Yeah.
There was a show, Partners in Crime or something, where they had Lonnie Anderson and Linda Carter together on the same show. They were like private detectives. Those two women on the same screen.
Right. Linda Carter, for anybody that didn't
like
pick that up, she was Wonder Woman, like the original Wonder Woman.
Right.
I mean, she to me is who they pattern everybody else after. I mean, like to achieve
She
Wonder Woman.
was definitely
yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazonian, voluptuous, but still hot and ugh,
100%.
Yeah.
Hey, Amazonian, babe. He just said it. We just had this conversation the other day.
What about it?
Well, just like what makes a female Amazonian? Isn't that what we talked about? Like, is it just...
It's tall, voluptuous, curvy, not fluffy or whatever the fuck you're supposed to call it now.
Because in the Amazon, all the girls used to look like that.
No, I was asking what the men looked like.
Yeah, they all look like...
There were no men. That's the whole thing. There were no men, right?
Oh, I thought all the dudes looked like little Enos.
Yeah, we just assumed they were like little Lilliputians. Like,
yeah.
Give me that talker. Hello, Mr. Bandit. Would you just happen to be listening out there? Can you hear me, boy?
This is the Bandit. What got a dead end?
This is Sheriff Buford T. Justice of Texas.
Well, hot damn. Welcome to Mississippi, Sheriff.
Thank you, Mr. Bandit. And I got a big welcome waiting for you when I get you back home. You some bitch.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
I apologize to all the friendly folk who are listening. Now here it is, you tick turd. I'm gonna get you. I didn't come all the way this far to go home with empty pockets.
If you haven't seen this movie, go watch this movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh my God,
it really
it's
is
so good.
And it's so simple too, and it's an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it's an easy watch.
It's
such an
really
easy watch.
It's
Absolutely.
It goes by real quick. So, and very funny stuff.
Don't you ever take that hat off for anything?
Sure. I take it off for one thing, and one thing only.
Oh.
Bandit, you're the Joker.
If we were lost on a desert island together,
Yes.
do you think we'd get along and talk and things?
Sure. Yeah, we get along. It'd never be boring, I can tell you that. It would never be boring.
Take your hat off.
You notice in this scene, he got like a radio voice, Burt Reynolds. Like in the rest of it, he's just like, because you're kind of cute like a frog. But here he's just like, never be boring.
Picture them doing it naked out here, okay?
Yeah.
Really picture it.
Okay.
Doesn't that kind of ruin the movie for you a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
But they got in the car. I think they did it in the car. I don't think.
But I just mean like them going at it right here.
Right.
It kind of ruins the flirty tension that they have throughout the movie. It's like now they're just banging and it's kind of cheapish or something. I don't know.
Well, and he's still talking about banging the other girls, the CB girls anyway.
Right.
Like it's. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It kind of cheapens it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I get it. Plus, how do you do it in a Trans Am?
I don't know.
It seems difficult.
I think I'm gonna head out.
All right.
Oh, good night, Casey.
Good night.
We're actually almost done.
I love you.
Love you.
I'll be there soon.
Love you, Rich.
Will you take the baby out, please?
Yep.
Cletus, talk to me, my boy. God damn it, son, we gave it our best shot. I don't like us any more than you do, but we ain't gonna make it, son. We're gonna hang it up. Whoa, negatory. What are you, crazy, son? We come this far, ain't we? Look, when we say we're gonna do a job, we do a job. It's me they're after. They don't even know Cletus Snow exists. Oh, they know. Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna introduce them to the boy. So move over a little bit, good buddy, because the snowman is coming through. Hold on your ass, Red.
This was the perfect ending for me. This was so like they had 1,000 cop cars behind him. He knew he was gonna get caught. He was like, I'm going to take one for the team. I'll just, you go ahead. Although he could have still finished and they got the money. But anyway, the fact that he pulled out at the end and blew through all the roadblocks with the truck, I thought that was awesome. I thought it was great.
Well, especially because he's driving the Bandit's truck.
That's true. It's licensed to the Bandit.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but you know what? I didn't remember the whole like Burt Reynolds giving up thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so too. I mean, it was definitely a triumphant thing for the thing about that they'll usually do with like the sidekick guys and make him almost like a guy who has to take the shit and who doesn't get any credit and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It made him relevant for the movie.
I definitely like this as a buddy movie that isn't like that. They're both going to take the credit for it. They're going to take the money and then, hey, we're going on to the next thing.
Right.
What time is it?
1 minute after.
God damn, we're 10 minutes early.
In trouble?
I know we're in trouble. Look, we need two things. We need a way out of here. We need the money.
Well, here's my Cadillac. That'll leave me with an even dozen. Good luck, son.
Cletus, get the money.
Yeah, how about the money? How about double or nothing? How about forgetting it?
Oh, wait a minute. What about double or nothing?
You run up to Boston and bring back some clam chowder for me and my daddy?
You're on. You're on. In 18 hours? You're still on.
18 hours up the East Coast now.
She's an adrenaline junkie, apparently.
Yeah, she is. She wants to jump things. Yes. She's just ready to go.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like she's had like a super exciting life. Her just one brief stint as on the chorus line.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? And she's going out there, and freaking Cletus is gonna get divorced now.
There's no way they made it in time. There's absolutely no way that happened.
In 11 hours, they got to be there and back to Boston. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they couldn't have done that one. There's no way they made that one. That's ridiculous. When these is like, what he said, 8? How many hours?
I think 11 hours. They have to be to Boston and back. That's
not possible.
That's not doable.
That's the same distance to Texas.
I would think so, or greater.
Yeah. Are they flying back?
Maybe.
Yeah. No, not happening.
Sheriff, Buford T. Justice, please. Who that? This is Bandit Darble talking.
Where are you, you some bitch?
Before I tell you where I am, Sheriff, there's just one thing I want to say. You must be part coon dog, because I've been chased by the best of them. And son, you make them look like they're all running in slow motion. Just want to say that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bandit. And as the pursuer, may I say you're the goddamnest pursuee I ever pursued. Now that the mutual bullshit is over, where are you, you some bitch?
There's two some bitches right there for you. Cool ending.
Yeah.
Look over your left shoulder and just a happy, ride off into the sunset kind of thing.
Right.
And whether there's a sequel or not at this point, it just a great ending to a great movie.
I honestly can't express how much I enjoyed watching the movie. I figured I'd like it, but I figured maybe it wouldn't hold. It was enjoyable. Yeah. I had such a good time watching the movie. If you haven't watched this since you were a kid, absolutely go watch it. If you've never watched it, absolutely watch it.
Yep. So 40 years later, Smokey and the Bandit still absolutely holds up. A classic movie for us as kids, and definitely one for that whole genre of the whole cars running from the law kind of thing, but in a fun sort of way, I guess. Back when you could get away with that. Anyway, man. Was great. Thanks to Ashley C. Thanks again to all of our supporters on patreon.com. If you ever want to be a part of the show, or you just want to check out what we're doing, you want to get some extra tidbits, some unreleased material, and blah, 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 go to patreon.com and just search for Jaret Goes to the Movies. We could definitely use your support, and we definitely would be thankful if you would look into that. You can find us on Facebook at Jaret Goes to the Movies. You can find us on Twitter at Jaret Movies. That's Jaret Movies. And thank you guys very much for listening. Rich, I hope you have a fantastic week. What's up next week?
I think it's Step Brothers. Step Brothers. Oh my God! And you've never seen that, right? I've never seen Step Brothers.
Okay, so that's gonna be held.
But I am tainted a little bit by my hatred for Will Ferrell.
Right. I think you're gonna have to approach it with an open mind.
I'll do my best.
Understand that it is definitely a cult favorite for movie watchers of today. That's for sure. Rich, Thanks very much. Thanks to Casey and to everybody else for listening. We'll see you down the road.